Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's a slightly rainy day today, so I thought we would talk about the weather here in Thailand, what it's like. So for those of you who have never been to Thailand before, this will be very informative. For those of you who have been to Thailand before or live here, you know what I'm about to say. So this month is the month of August. August is the rainiest month of the year in Thailand. And the rainy season really isn't that bad. It usually starts, there's a debate on that online, but somewhere between June and July, some say May. But anyway, the rain starts there. And when you hear the rainy season, it doesn't mean that every day it's absolutely pouring and it's just awful. But it just means that that's the time of year where you're going to see rain. It doesn't look like this. This is August. Unfortunately, for the area I live in, it is very prone to flooding. So this is after, I think it's been raining for 2 hours. We're already up to ankles, or actually more like up to mid-shin. Right now, it's only gonna get deeper as I go down the street. So this is what August looks like. But this is not the norm, so don't get scared of the rainy season if you're planning on visiting during the rainy season. It's just that the other seasons in Thailand really don't see much rain. Now we're gonna go out next. I'll go into the months that are just the best, and that is, let's say, between October and maybe January. And the reason being is that it's a lot. It's not as hot and it's not as rainy. So as you can tell, if it's a little bit cooler and there's not a lot of rain, that's probably the best time to check everything out here. Okay, I just hit the intersection here, so I thought we would look around at everything. So there's 2 cars trying to make it down the road here to the left. I see that our river is overflowing again. Here's a look to the right. We'll watch these people go by, and then we'll start talking about the best time to come to Thailand again. All right, so they should turn this into a no-wake zone. That wave hit that wall pretty hard. Anyway, so the best time to come here is in the months between October and January. You're gonna be safe there. There's actually something else you're avoiding that time of year, which I'll go over with you now next. So sometimes it can start as early as February until probably the end of April. You've got the smokey season, and that's all over Thailand. And what that is all the neighboring countries and Thailand are all burning all of their old crops, which throws all that smoke up in the air, and it blows away from the mountain areas to everywhere else. And if you're in Chiang Mai, it's like a bowl. There's mountains all the way around, and then Chiang Mai itself is right in the center, and all of the smoke just kind of sits there. Wow, look at this. That's a good little flow going there. By the way, this is the river. Now, I just did a video like this, I don't know, maybe a month ago, where we did get a lot of rain, and that was over a couple of hours. So yeah, this is a lot. Now, to explain more about what the smoky season does to you, it blots out the sky for months. The sky just kind of looks gray. You can't see the mountains very well. They get a little foggy looking, and it stays that way for a while. My son and his fiance came to visit during the middle of smoky season, and I said, I promise you, soon it will be beautiful blue skies and everything will change. But of course they left before the weather got better. If you're somebody who suffers with asthma or other respiratory problems, I would avoid coming to Thailand between, safely I could say, March and April. You do not want to be here. Now, talking about when you don't want to be here, what are the hottest months here in Thailand? Well, again, I'm going to bring you to right there, that March, April. So it's hot. It doesn't rain. much, and it's smoky season, so it's the most delightful time to be here. Funny thing is, when we came here a year and a half ago, we had to do 2 weeks of quarantine in Bangkok, and we ended up arriving here in Chiang Mai on April 11th, which is right in the middle of the smoky season and right in the middle of the heat, probably the worst time of year to do it. But, my wife was very happy. I told her this is the worst it's going to be, and yes, it ended up getting better as the months went on. We went into the rainy season and we had the cooler climates. So again, here's another look at the street, and just so give you an idea, this is about how deep the water is right now. It's just overflowing everywhere. There's a school over here, and there's a drainage ditch right beside it, and that thing's overflowed too. So the bottom line with the seasons is choose wisely. If you're only going to spend a week or two here, I would say definitely come anywhere between October and January, and you should be pleasantly surprised. If for some reason you do need to come in March and April, okay, I mean, things are fine, but it is going to be smoky. It is going to be really hot. Like if you're from the US, you know, it could be as high as 110 degrees every day. At night, it's still hot. So keep that in mind. All right, here's that drainage ditch area. And here's somebody else driving in this stuff. By the way, disclaimer, if you're saying, hey, Tony, your voice sounds a little different, I keep getting sick. It never fails. As soon as I get unsick, it lasts about 2 or 3 days, and then I'm sick with something else. I go into the doctor, they're like, it's nothing. I mean, it really isn't. They offered medicine stuff, but I just wouldn't take it. But apparently, I haven't built up a very good immune system here. So I'm gonna try doing some D3 vitamins or something, but I just keep getting sick over and over again. So I'm thinking sooner or later I need to buy a kayak, because it'd probably be easier to navigate the street on a kayak whenever it rains like this. Plus it'd kind of be hilarious. I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not. Now one thing, and I don't know because I haven't walked that far yet, is there should be people fishing in the river, because when it overflows like this, apparently that's the best time to use your cast net and catch fish. But I can't even see that far down yet. As we get closer, we'll see. While we're walking that way, I know there's a lot of people who are new to the channel since the last time I gave any information about myself or my wife, but we moved here from the United States on April 27th, and that was in 2021. And we've been here almost a year and a half now. We absolutely love it. We moved from South Carolina here to Chiang Mai. We had never been to Chiang Mai before. We've been to Thailand, but only in the south. My first time ever coming to Thailand was in 1990. I remember that because I turned 21 that day. I was in the Marines, and we were flying to Thailand. The plane, the engine went out on our C-130. We had to do an emergency landing in the Philippines. That's where I turned 21. And everyone, of course, brought me beer we were stuck on the runway, brought me beer to celebrate my 21st birthday. And then I remember we got back in the plane once they swapped out the engine, and we landed here in Thailand. And I went ahead and took vacation there and spent 6 weeks away from the Marines, having fun in Pattaya Beach and Bangkok, which is dangerous for a 21-year-old. But way back then in 1990, I fell in love with this country, and it's the only country I ever wanted to get back to. So it's really nice to be here. Therefore, these vlogs that I do are to help you either decide whether this is a place you would want to move, and if you do, or you want to visit. And we go over a lot of restaurant stuff, real estate prices, cost of living, all kinds of fun stuff. You could look at all of our videos. It's all on there. If there's a topic you all would like me to cover, just let me know. Put it in the comments. Just do me a favor and make sure that I haven't already covered that topic in one of my past videos. And if you don't feel like looking through all those videos, you can just leave the comments, and if it's something new, I will consider it. If it's something I haven't done in a while, I will consider that as well. And by the way, I never have thanked you guys, the ones that have subscribed. Thank you to everyone, whether you're viewing or subscribing. But we did hit 1,000 subscribers in 10 months. Now we're a lot more than that, so I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing if you have any interest in Thailand, or specifically Chiang Mai, because that is where my area of focus will be. I think the girl behind me is having some issues with her motorcycle. She passed going the opposite way, then I heard her scream. I flipped around, but she was fine. She was just sitting in the water. Hopefully she's gonna figure out a better route to get to wherever she needs to go. Kind of feel sorry for these delivery drivers in this kind of weather. Even I call them for this kind of weather. And the way it works here in Thailand is they got a cheap food delivery system. They charge you anywhere from 10, let's say, to 20 baht to have food delivered to your house. Right now there's 36 baht to the dollar, and they're only charging, like I said, anywhere from 15 to 20, somewhere in that range baht, so less than $1 to have your food picked up and brought to your door. So you can imagine that days like this, they're slammed. And by the way, they have made a liar out of me. Usually there are a lot of people fishing right here where I'm about to show you, where this bridge is. Everyone's got their nets in there, and there's people on both sides fishing, but not today. I don't know why. It's a Monday. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Maybe the last time this happened, it was a weekend. I'm not sure. But yeah, usually this barely has any water in it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as I make my way back to the house, I'll leave you with this view. I'm gonna enjoy my August day with this flood and try to waddle myself back to the house. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Who knows what the topic will be. And until next time, we like to close our videos by saying Kap Kun Kap, which means thank you in Thai. So Kap Kun Kap.